Get ready to embark on a literary journey like never before. Tune in to the Writer's Blog Talk Show, a book review show that airs on radio, Sunny 88.7 FM, every Saturday at 1 p.m. and on TV. Immerse yourself in a world of literature as we dissect, discuss, and delight in the latest and greatest books across genres. From gripping mysteries to heartwarming tales, we've got your reading list covered. Join us every week as we unravel the pages of captivating novels, explore the minds of brilliant authors, and share insights that will leave you craving your next literary adventure. Whether you're a seasoned bookworm or just diving into the world of stories, the Writer's Blog is the perfect companion for your reading escapades, for children and grown-ups too. Let's make reading a joy for every age. As we celebrate our 5th year this year, we promise you amazing content on radio and TV. Contact the Writer's Blog Talk Show today. 0552 535 036 0552 535 036 or email writersbloggh@gmail.com. Visit our website www.thewritersbloggh.com. On social media, Facebook, Instagram, X or YouTube, The Writer's Blog Talk Show, or at Writer's Blog GH. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind. Hello and welcome to a fresh new season of the Writer's Blog Talk Show right here on this channel. It's a program that is designed with you and your child in mind. We are helping you to fall in love with books. We are helping you to fall in love with reading, writing, all of that. We come your way every week right here on this channel. You can visit our website, www.thewritersbloggh.com. www.thewritersbloggh.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. We are on TikTok, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. You can find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, all of that is at Writer's Blog GH or the Writer's Blog Talk Show. You can also go onto Spotify and listen to our podcast as well. But if you want to connect with us via phone, you can do so on WhatsApp or SMS, +233 552 535 036. Number on your screen right now. But the Writer's Blog is powered by Review Multimedia and Review Impact Initiative. We are also powered by Rev-Up IV Therapy and Med Spa, Caris Books, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Curtis Couture, Challenge Bookshop, and of course, Kappa Cappuccino. That's where we are broadcasting from today. And then our media partners, Sunny FM, Sunny TV, and PCG TV. I'm excited about this book. The title is The Art and Science of Consistent Leadership, Steady Steps to Extraordinary Impact. If you're a leader, if you're hoping to lead at some point in time in your life, as a person, you want to be able to lead yourself right, this is a book you ought to have. And I have the author with me here. When we are back, there's more. Please stay with us. Attention all wordsmiths and storytellers. Are you ready to elevate your literary game? Introducing Review Multimedia Limited's editorial services, the one-stop destination for all your writing needs. Are you wrestling with writer's block or time constraints? Fear not. Our team of expert ghostwriters is here to breathe life into your ideas, crafting compelling stories that resonate with your audience. Editing and proofreading precision is our forte. We polish your prose until it sparkles, ensuring every word shines on the page. But that's not all. Need your spoken words captured in text? Our audio-to-text transcription services will transform your voice into written brilliance. And for those seeking a voice that stands out, explore our voice work services, jingles that linger, audiobooks that captivate, commercials that sell, and documentaries that tell tales beyond imagination. Authors, get ready for the spotlight. Our PR experts will launch your book, grant you interviews and promos on the Writer's Blog radio and TV platforms, all tailored to make your book a sensation. Contact Review Multimedia Limited today, 0552 535 036 or 0208
428-322. Email revealmultimediagh@gmail.com. Visit our website www.revealmultimediagh.com. Remember, every story deserves to be a masterpiece. We can make that happen. Reveal Multimedia Limited. Dreams come alive.
Welcome back. This is the Writer's Block Talk Show right here on this channel, and we are coming your way from Josie's Kappa Cappuccino. You can find them at Volta Street 6 at Domit Link Airport Residential right here in Accra, Ghana. They serve some of the best sandwiches you can ever think of. And then on Wednesdays, they have the amazing wachi with special Gary photo. And then the red every single Friday. I see Charles smiling. I think that red works for him. You can connect with them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that. Their website details scrolling down there on your screen. Or you can connect with them on phone, 0248 204 441 or 0558 719 965. Let's take our quotes for today, and I'm picking it right from this amazing book we're about to read. It says, true change is not found in shortcuts, but in the art and science of consistency, a journey of patience, purpose, and perseverance. Awesome. And this is written by Charles Kojo VanDyck. Let me tell you just a little bit about him. So Charles is a leadership and civil society governance specialist with extensive experience in strengthening organizations and driving strategic decision-making. Now, as head of the Capacity Development Unit at WACSI, he supports sustainable resource mobilization and board management. A thought leader and podcaster, Charles is a core team member of the Ringo Systems Change Initiative, a trustee of Intrac, and an advisory board member of Disrupt Development. So he's all about development. He's also a certified Change the Game Academy Master Trainer and an IFC Learning and Performance Institute trainer, equipping leaders with the skills to build resilient organizations. I'm sure we'll be reaching out to him also regarding some of the stuff we are doing. It's good to have you, Charles.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me.
And I think when we were on radio, we talked about this. Yep. Love this awesome book. But like we always do on the show, I just want to find out how long it took you to do this. Yeah. And first of all, also, what inspired this one?
Great. Let me start with what inspired.
Okay.
So I work with a lot of young people from, I believe in the sector I work with and other sectors, there's almost like 3 generations now. There are those who are closer to retirement, and then there are those in their 40s, late 30s and 40s, and then the early 20s, what we call Gen Z.
Gen Zs.
Yeah, so I was actually inspired by the younger folks who I feel have an opportunity to do things differently. So I said to myself, so what have I learned over the years? I'm now in my late 40s. In fact, I remember when I was way younger, and I never thought that people would be calling me sir, uncle, all those things. So so I said to myself, okay, so what experience have I been able to garner over the years? What have I learned? What are some of the things I've been thinking about, especially about leadership? Because I believe leadership influences everything you see around us.
Yeah.
And so, colleagues, I had 2 particular colleagues who kept on impressing upon me that, Charles, you talk about consistency a lot. Why don't you write something about it? And I thought to myself, consistency as a concept in itself may sound quite boring, quite mundane. But if I link it to leadership as a leadership value, I think I probably have something to share with the world. And so that's what inspired me to write this. I wrote this for young Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm hoping it will leave a legacy, especially to make things very practical for them so they can do much better than we have done so far. It took me, if I'm counting the days and the nights, probably just about 3 months or so. And I think it's shocking to many people because people spend years on a book. But the thing about me is that I write articles a lot. And so the way I function, I don't know if it's a gift but the way I function is that when I have an idea, I have to come and pour it out. If I don't pour it out at the time the idea, like I always say, comes from heaven.
Okay.
Then I find it difficult. Before I came here, I was in church. When I was in church, I got a new idea for something I'm working on. And so I went home and actually wrote something before I actually came here because I was afraid that by the time I go back, I'll miss the substance of it. So when I got into this book, I just got into it and, used most of the nights at home. My wife was wondering, what is this guy doing? After 3 months or 4 months or so, I just told her I've been writing a book. I think she was quite surprised. So I took 3 months of intensive evening investments, let me put it that way.
But a lot of research has gone into this one also. Yes,
because I didn't want to just write it about my experience. Yes, my experience may be valid for a lot of people, but I also wanted to share stories of people from Africa that people may have heard of or may not have heard of, who exemplify consistent leadership, and to also show that in this continent of ours we have good leaders, and we may be struggling with many things, but there's pockets of excellence that we can get inspired from. So I was hoping to share some well-known leaders already, but some that people may not know, to give it a balance for people to get inspired by.
I'm here with Charles Kojo VanDyck. We are discussing from his book, The Art and Science of Consistent Leadership. And he's a man who has lived it because I've followed him just a tiny little bit on LinkedIn. He is damn consistent. I mean, I'm like, seriously, how does he do it? And so now I understand your book better, much better. So this book comes in 4 parts. It's about 12 chapters, and then it's about 141 pages. I like the fact that there are reflection questions at the end of every single chapter, and there's a quote that begins the chapter. But chapter 1 talks about your life as a worker at West African Civil Society Institute, where it all began. I think for me, as I read the book, that's how I got it. How you volunteered to be a part of the team, how even when things were unstable, you stayed on because you believed in consistency, you worked bit and bit, kept at it, and that's how far you have come. Rose up the ranks, and here you are today. Let's talk about that life in your workplace.
So it's a bit of an interesting story because actually for my undergrad, I studied banking and finance, but life is funny because I actually never have worked in a bank or a financial institution before.
You see?
I went from there to do what many of the university people will know as a teaching assistant, what they call TAs, very popular. So I did that for a couple of years. And then I said to myself, honestly, I can go and work in a bank or investment organization or a non-bank financial, but is that something that I'll be fulfilled by? I probably will get a lot of nice money. By now, I could have been living really good. But the question, I was looking for more about where I think I should be or where I think God wants me to be. So, I prayed a bit and spoke to a couple of people. And then all of a sudden, I got this message through in one of my emails about a course at GIMPA on development management. And I thought to myself, development seems like a sector that I can actually connect with because you are engaging with people, working in communities, looking at how to really fight poverty and inequality hands-on. I thought, that seems like something I will enjoy. So I went and did that course, development management. But when I finished, I realized that to get into the development space, you need experience. Because, when you're looking at the job vacancies, they'll tell you need 5 years, 10 years of experience. And I'm like, where am I going to get?
Get that
so I just told myself, look, I need to go volunteer
Okay.
and learn. So I volunteered with international NGOs, like 3 different types.
Okay.
And then I volunteered with also local organizations, local NGOs, just to get an experience of both worlds. And so when I was volunteering with WACSI, I walked in there and I said, I'm looking to volunteer. And there was a lady there who remembered me from uni. I went to Central University. I was I was part of the first batch. So she remembered me. She was in evening school. She said, I used to see you walking about, but I never spoke to you, but I know your face is familiar and I can always remember the height. So I remember, So she said, so what do you want? I said, I just want to volunteer. I just want to learn. He's like, okay. So we need a rapporteur for a program, an NGO leadership program. We are running for NGO leaders in West Africa. I said to myself, what is a rapporteur? In fact, I should have asked her. But I had a master's degree, so little pride.
Just assume that
like,
No,
if I go and ask her, what would she think about me?
Okay.
So I went home, I said, rapporteur,
what is that?
What is this? Apparently, it's just a French version of a report writer, for a big conference. Yeah. So I went and, took that opportunity and I wrote that conference report. It was my first experience in the development space. I didn't expect to get paid. But they did give me an allowance. And I remember I was so excited about that allowance, which was so odd for a master's student. I was telling my girlfriend at that time, she became my wife. That time, she was at KPMG. Okay. And I was wondering what was going through her mind. Like, what is wrong with this guy? You've done a job, they've given you an allowance, you're so excited. Don't you know you have a master's degree, you should. But I realized that it wasn't really about the master's degree. It was really about understanding practically the job, the skill, getting the skill. Yeah. So I volunteered there for more months, and then there was an opportunity for a program officer position, for the first program officer position. I applied, and the rest is history.
They say it's history. Yes. But so how has it been for you, your experience? Somebody may even want to know what exactly your organization does.
Yes.
What do you do?
So it's a regional organization. It was actually created by the Open Society Foundations by a guy called George Soros, who's like an investment person. Okay. Originally from Budapest, Hungary, but now, American. And the idea of creating us was to respond to challenges within civil society, especially institutional challenges and skills challenges. The Open Society for West Africa Foundation, which was based in Senegal, had been giving grants for so many years. Okay. So, but they realized that as they are giving grants, they're not seeing the impact. And they noticed that many of the organizations were institutionally or in terms of their systems and their structures, they were very weak. They had all governance problems, leadership problems. Okay. And they wanted a way to tackle that. So they first thought, okay, maybe we need to open a new unit to do that. Then, that was something they were thinking. Then somebody came with the idea that, look, why don't we, incubate an organization that's just going to do capacity strengthening for civil society. And so that's how WACSI came into being. Yeah. I had no idea about it. I was just in my neighborhood and I decided to just go from one organization to another. Okay. Yes, and I stumbled on the organization. But that's where the history of WACSI came from. Yes. Okay.
This is awesome. And through that, you have learned so much and you've climbed up the ladder up to this point. Yes. When we are back from this break, we are talking about what really Charles is talking about in this book, the art and the science of not just leadership, but consistent leadership. We'll be back. Stay with us.
congratulations to Vicky. She's been so amazing. She's been able to find a niche for us Christian parents who are just looking for ways to empower and encourage our children.
Seeing kids, parents, teachers coming together to talk about books, to talk about reading. I believe that the little ones who came around today have learnt a lot.
It was amazing, and I loved the part of the kids where you could color, you could build houses out of blocks, make whatever you want.
It's a kind of a marketplace where we brought together both writers to think through and relate to the value of reading.
Today has been awesome. We've been able to introduce more people to the awesome work that Janelle has done. The 2 books were nicely patronized, and we thank you.
Coming face to face and joining many authors who have written amazing inspirational books was an exciting one for me. Also, the active involvement of children, especially at a young age, is a good turning point, especially for this particular program.
With God's help, it's going to get better and bigger. Great job, Writers Blog, and we wish you all the best.
Welcome back. You're still here with us on the Writers Blog talk show right here on this channel. We are talking all about books, reading, and we love this particular one. I personally love it. I'm sure when we are done, you will grab a copy for yourself. The Art and Science of Consistent Leadership, brought to you by Reveal Impact Initiative and Reveal Multimedia Limited. Now, we are into editorial services, editing, proofreading, ghostwriting services. We also do PR for authors. And so once your book is out, you're not sure how to go about it. Where do I go? How do I get platforms to talk about my book? How do I promote it? All of that, we train you, we groom you to own your work. And so you can reach out to us, number on the screen. We can so help you out. But Charles, we are back here. Why the art and the science of leadership? What is that?
Yes, so from my experience and my understanding of leadership, leadership has a science. That means it has particular aspects that work for everyone, or particular principles that you follow. And so if you're trying to be a very good leader, you must know that you have to have certain competencies. You have to build certain skills. You have to have a certain knowledge and then a certain mindset, right? But it's just not about competence. It's not just about the science. You also have to have a certain character.
That's right.
Right? And leadership character speaks to your values, speaks to your personality, how you bring your own persona on board, or your own experiences, life experiences, to your leadership service, right? Then there's also culture and context. So the culture and the context also influence the art, right? So the way you exercise your leadership in a particular context will be different.
Yeah.
That is why in certain instances we are followers, and in certain aspects we are leaders. And that is why if you are a leader in the church, it will be very different from a leader in the corporate space.
That's right.
Or a leader in the education space. So basically the arts and science is how you bring your personality, how you bring your life experiences to the actual principles of leadership, which has to do with your competence, how you balance those two. Without that balance, you will fail to be an effective leader.
And so what then does consistency have to do with all of this?
Yes, so consistency is basically challenging the notion that leaders have to do some grandstanding or grand gestures to be realized or recognized, or do something so extraordinary. No, it's basically telling us that it's actually your steady steps. So it's the little things that you do that builds you up into a leader. And that for you to become an effective leader, you have to make sure that you are consistent, you are persistent. That means you do things in a steady manner, right? And that you value your milestones, and that your milestones are important. And that wherever you are, or wherever you find yourself, put value on what you are doing. Because sometimes people are in certain spaces, they think that nobody sees me, nobody recognizes me, what I do is not important. Even in an organization, I'm the so-called lower level staff, and that the senior managers are more important. The middle manager feels people don't listen to me. But what I'm challenging is that wherever you are, it's the little things that you do that then help you to become an effective leader. So leadership can be exercised at any level. Yes, but you just have to make sure that you're taking steady steps. And it's those steady steps that will get you where you want to go.
So then, in effect, what you're trying to help us appreciate is that we cannot really separate our personalities from
your leadership. You can't.
So how do we then bridge that? Because let's bring it to, normal terms, practicality.
Yes.
Here in Ghana and in Africa, most of us see leadership as a position. And so it's all about the titles, not really about the work. And even the person who has, values the titles and is trying to do the work has people who are doing the work seemingly, and he's behind and he takes all the applause. And I feel that is why sometimes some people who are doing their best at the grassroots or down there feel they are not being recognized. So
Absolutely.
How do we marry the two?
Yes. So what I'm talking about in the book is functional leadership and not positional leadership.
That's right.
Because positional leadership is like, for example, I always give this analogy that you've been given a special room and then they give you the key. Yes. You can unlock and go into the room, but that doesn't make you a leader. It's just that you have the key. It's how you keep that room and how you use that room, to make an impact that makes you a leader, right? So in my book, I focus a lot more on functional leadership, right? Exercising your leadership, right? And not about your position or your title. In this world, unfortunately, or fortunately, let me put it that way, because in some instances it's good. There's hierarchy, right? So because of responsibility, the buck must stop with someone, right? But just because you are on a certain level, it doesn't make you a good leader. What makes you a good leader is when you are given that responsibility, how did you make an impact on people's lives, but more importantly, on the role that you were given, right? So I dwell a lot in the book. If you read the book, you will notice that I'm talking about the actions that you take to inspire others, the things that you do to bring people along, right? The way you are able to get people to fulfill their own purpose. Then makes you a great leader, right? So it's not about you as an individual, but it's about the responsibility that you have been given and your ability to exercise that responsibility to bless others. And that is what leadership is about. What I have seen from my own experience is that if you're a selfish person and you're thinking about yourself, you never have any sort of inner fulfillment. You can pretend to have it, but it always reflects in your relationship with others. You can't fake it, right? People will always have their say about how you made them feel, right? So what the thing I always ask people is, as a leader, what kind of investment are you making in others? Because as you make an investment in others, then you grow as a leader. You get to know yourself even better.
I think you bring us to the part 2, which is building trust and empowering others.
Yes.
Where the role of consistency in building trust comes in, and how you can really strengthen others through steadfast leadership.
Yes.
Mentorship is not really a thing.
Yes.
For us.
Unfortunately, yes, it's become much better than when I was younger. I always tell my colleagues now who have gone through structured internship programs that you are blessed. We went through what they call attachment. And those of us here who are older will
attachment,
know.
They send you.
They send you to go and buy, food, go and do photocopies. I mean, there was no structure. You're not learning much. Now, actually, things have improved. There's now structured internships. There are even formal mentorship programs. Right. And mentorship is a very powerful thing because basically mentorship is there not to tell you, a younger person, what to do, but it's an opportunity for me to share my experiences of what I did not do well. You see, it's not what I did well that's important.
It's not the glories.
No, it's the mistakes that I made and why I made those mistakes that you need to learn so that you avoid those mistakes and so that you can go to another level. And that's why I see the value in mentorship, right? And mentorship, you can do it formally, very well structured program, or you can do it informally. And I think people are now more open to mentor others, right? I always say that I have been blessed. There's a program at WACSI called the Next Generation Program. And because of that program, I've been able to work with many interns since 2008. Many of them are doing great things around the world now. A lot of the times, when they see me, they say, Charles, thank you for all the things you did, for listening, for supporting. And I'm laughing in my head because to be honest with you, they, I think, were more of a blessing to me than I was to them, because from every single one of them, I learned something unique. But most importantly, I learned more about myself, which is key. Because one of the things I also mentioned is that for you to mentor, you have to know yourself. I need to know who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, right? So that as I'm sharing, I'm able to be vulnerable with others. Don't go and tell people stories as if you are composed, know everything. You started this way. You started speaking when you were in the beginning. You could speak this way, which is not the truth, right? You have to be able to share the real stories of how you struggled.
You have to learn to be vulnerable.
Exactly, so that people can pick that up from you, and
become better.
Yes, not to copy you, because you are the only unique. You're yourself, but to get inspiration from you to become who they are supposed to become.
The Writer's Blog Talk Show is what you're watching now on this channel. I'm talking to Charles Kojo VanDyck. We're speaking from his book, The Art and Science of Consistent Leadership. And I would like to read this reflection questions here after this discussion. It says, how does consistency in leadership contribute to building trust and fostering a stable environment for team members? And I'm thinking that even this book can be used by organizations.
Absolutely.
Retreats, even before the year begins, middle of the year.
Absolutely.
And you can have these questions discussed.
So that you reflect. Because a lot of organizations don't pause. They are on it.
On the
go. From January to December, they don't take time to pause and reflect. And that's why many organizations, unfortunately, when it comes to the dynamics with staff, senior management and others, you can see it's very dysfunctional.
There's a gap.
A huge gap. So many organizations need to learn and pause, go on retreats. It's not about spending, but you can do a very modest thing and have some of these reflections. I think you'll be surprised at what you can learn from colleagues, and what you learn about colleagues that you've been working with for years, but you had no idea the kind of experiences that they've had.
Even my children, I learn a lot from them every single day.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to let them know that, oh, mommy didn't know this. Because even now in this tech, world, I have seen how they can pick up a phone, discover new apps that can do great things that hitherto I didn't know. And so it's okay to let go. But that brings us to that vulnerability part, where letting go and embracing the changes as a leader. And recently we had a certain conference, and I think it keeps coming back to me anytime I'm talking to you about your book. And a lady was talking about how she's frustrated and wants to leave her workspace because management isn't seeing what she's seeing. She wants to move up, she wants to scale up, new trends, new softwares, new programs that can enhance what they're doing. But management is still archaic, going back very steady in their old ways. And how do we marry or, as it were, move out of our comfort zone as leaders and embrace change?
I think that's one of the biggest problems I see, is that at certain levels of organization, people have stopped learning. And it's a very dangerous thing, because I think learning and reflection should be an integral part of every organization. Many of us who came from the bottom, there's a famous, those of us who like hip hop a bit, I started from the bottom, now I'm there. So when you start from the bottom, what happens is that as you've gone through that, sometimes you tend to want to transfer your trauma. You've gone through it in a certain way. For you it was hard. So
they must experience it too.
So why should I make it easy Yeah, but I feel that is not a positive and the best way to do things.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel what is happening is that so many people have stopped learning. They've got to a certain threshold. Sometimes they never even thought they would get there, and now they are very comfortable.
Yeah.
So you're making suggestions, nobody's listening. You know, you make recommendations about, no, these are new ways to do things, nobody's listening. So I tell organizations that you need to check that by making sure that those who are at senior management level get the requisite training, that they don't move from middle level into senior management by accident or by promotion without going through a proper orientation and being told that, look, when you were in middle management, 80% of your work was task-oriented. Now that you're a senior manager, 80% of your work is leadership work plus managing people, and it takes a different orientation. This is what it means.
That's right.
This means you need to shift the way you do things. And we'll be measuring your performance now based on that, and not based on the fact that you are task King Kong. Because a lot of people are task King Kong. When you tell them to do, they can do it. When you tell them to manage people, they start losing, they start getting fits, tantrums. I can't deal with these people. I can't. Yes. So you need to prepare people for that transition. And I've noticed that in many organizations, that preparation is not done. And so people get promoted without being prepared. And then you have these challenges that you see.
Well, if you're a leader, I think this is really a call for you to sit up and reconsider, because we can't, keep doing this. Well, let me not use this example, else I'll be in trouble. But we ought to really be up on our game and find ways and means to embrace the younger ones in new ideas, fresh ideas. Look around. There's so much happening. Things are evolving. And you ought to change also. We want to go for TWB Nuggets. Stay with us.
Hello, and welcome to TWB Nuggets, where you get to unearth the treasure trove of literary wisdom with TWB Nuggets, where golden insight on book care, book selection, reading, writing, and pronunciation are ways to enrich your literary journey. This month, we'll be looking at some frequently asked questions about books and all things literary. Today's question is, what do we call an individual who loves and frequently reads and or collects books? He or she is called a bibliophile or bookworm. Bibliophile is a French word that means someone who loves books, both the physical object an act of frequently reading. It comes from the Greek word biblion for book and philios for friend. Bookworm Elizabeth English says a figurative term for a voracious reader of book content, sometimes used negatively to indicate reading too much. Do you know any bibliophile or bookworm? Go on and add bibliophile or bookworm to his name or her name. So maybe you can say, Nana Kojo is a bibliophile or Nana Kojo is a bookworm. And that is our tip for today. Tune in next week as we attempt to answer some frequently asked questions about books and all things literary.
My question is, what is purpose? How did you discover yours?
Purpose is what you have set out to do, what you are, God created you basically on earth to come and do. So if you were created to be a teacher, to impact life in different ways, and you decide to be a doctor, you will still achieve the purpose. But is that your purpose?
When I was a child, I knew very seriously that my purpose was to be a fairy. Good. At least it wasn't too loud. Thank you. You too, you did well. He was like, And I'm serious. And I am constantly, every day, striving to be a fairy. But, you know, of course, whenever people would ask me, what do you want to be? It's kind of like our little lady that said she wanted to be a princess. And I think that for me, and I think for many people, what our purpose is or what we want to be can be quite abstract in what our understanding is of it, right? But actually, even the most abstract purpose can be quite specific.
Being an artist, my love was in graphic designing. And from graphic designing, I realized that my purpose was to communicate information with illustration and images, basically. And so as it kept changing, go here, go there, come there, I never thought I'll be a lawyer. It never crossed my mind. Being a doctor or anything never crossed my mind. But anytime I wanted to talk to people or communicate to people about something, and that is how I think God helped me to find my purpose.
Yes, it says purpose is the reason for which something exists and the aims or goal for that thing. As a child, Bible says that children are a gift from God. As parents here, the children that we have, God has given them to us as a gift. And every gift that is given to you, you must know that that gift is so precious and it comes with value. And so the little boy we saw in the video, we saw that he had written something down. He was trying to identify a purpose, a goal, a vision. And he was able to look at how he was swingling around. Okay, so as a child, one thing we need to do or get to know is that God has given each and every one of us a talent, which is within our purpose. If you are able to identify this talent, Bible says that your talent will bring you before kings and queens. So, first of all, what is your talent? Your talent is something you find it easy to do. So, for instance, if you can sing, know that is your talent. You have to nurture it, grow it. Talk to your parents about it. Let them find a coach to help you. And gradually you see that you become very perfect in that.
Hello everybody, my name is Reverend Pauline. I am the lead pastor for Your Kingdom Word Publications. And this is my first time at the Boys, Girls and Parents Symposium, which is organized this year at the La Palm Beach Hotel. And I must say, it's been extremely amazing. Our facilitators were top-notch. The organization was superb. I am a child coach, a youth advocate, and a child development person. But what I have come to learn here is enormous. I want to recommend this particular event for you. Anytime you hear it being announced, please gather your children and bring them on board. They are going to learn so much. I believe their lives would never be the same. God bless Vicky and the team.
My name is Rachel Jeremy Sego. I attend Outside Academy in Jorolu. Today I made a lot of friends and I did a lot of activities like painting, drawing, and crafting.
That was nuggets for you, book buzz as well. This is the Writer's Block Talk Show. I'm here with Charles Kojo VanDyck. We're discussing from his book, The Art and Science of Leadership. And if you really look at the subtitle, it says Steady Steps, which means steady, it's not shaky. Steady steps to extraordinary impacts. Now, we are getting ready to host him at the Adult Book Club. I just can't wait because he's such a fun person to be with and he's very genuine. As leaders, I think he's showing us something real here, that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up and let people know about the weaknesses so they can pick up the pieces and be stronger where you weren't. And so we are looking forward to hosting him. If you want to be part of our adults book club, just send us an SMS or WhatsApp with the word ABC. We meet in person every single month with your coffee in hand, your favorite drink, and your favorite book, which will soon be this one. And we discuss books on leadership, family, parenting, marriage, relationships, love, business, all of that. And so reach out to us. The number on your screen, send the word ABC, and we'll get right back to you. Charles, so leadership example, which figure really stands out for you in our time?
Yes, so in my book from chapter 1, you notice I came up with a concept called the quiet force. Only because, these days, noise has become elevated as leadership, right? And so there's one person I wrote about there for his consistency, and that's the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Nuhu Sharabutu. Over 100 years, has been a chief imam, I think even before independence, and has been working quietly in the background, to keep for coexistence between the religious groups, with interfaith dialogues and other things like that. He's a tremendous leader. I think, unfortunately, people don't talk about him much. Because in this country, when you're quiet, you are easily forgotten.
Assumed.
Yes, but the kind of things he has done to reduce tensions between Muslims and Christians is remarkable. So many stories over the years. And he's been around, so he's seen Ghana evolve. He knows a lot of our leaders, even from when they were younger. So if you're talking about stories to share, you will have so many. So he has an appreciation of where we've come from as a country and where we can possibly go. Very, very strong mentally. And even physically for a person.
Yes, of that age.
Over 100, and I think highly spiritual kind of person. So I was, for me, it was humbling. It was a pleasure for me to profile him in my book as a good example.
And there are several other, figures in here that you get to find out as we go on. I'll share a few in just a bit. But you talked about embracing the journey going forward and how important it is for us to balance the art and the science. Let's touch on that briefly before we move on.
So, leadership is a journey. We are on a specific trajectory. All of us is very unique to ourselves. And we must become aware, first of all, about who we are and what our purpose is. When we are self-aware of who we are, then we can then apply that to how we lead. And one of the things about leadership is that you have to get the needed skills that you need along the way for the time that you find yourself. You have to have a specific amount of knowledge for where you find yourself, whether it's at home, at work, in the community. You have to have a certain mindset. And so you have to do these things consistently. Leadership, there's no break time when it comes to leadership. Leadership is a constant, right? And so you have to make sure that as you are moving and you are facing challenges, you are balancing all the things that the principles of leadership versus who you are as a person, so that you bring something fresh to the table. The idea of leadership is not to replicate people. You cannot be, when you are a photocopy, you can see that it's never the same as an original. If you take it can be the best printer in the world. But when you take that original and you take a photocopy and you give an expert, he can tell you the differences in that photocopy, right? So be your original self. So I always tell people, wherever you are enough. God made you that way. But just like every other thing, or just like every gift, if you don't work on it, you may not reach your full
potential.
Yes. So I always talk about the balance. Life is about balance. Balance that's who you are, your life experiences with the learning, with the skills that you are picking up. so that you can be an effective leader?
So like I said, it's 4 parts. Part 1, laying the foundation. It talks about the quiet force, building a foundation for growth, the resilience advantage. I love that one. Guiding with purpose, the ripple effects, navigating consistency with flexibility. Then we come to part 2, building trust and empowering others. The role of consistency in building trust and strengthening others through steadfast leadership. And then part 3, measuring progress and evaluating impact. And this is so key for growth. It talks about the metrics of consistency and consistency in action. I don't know if this is the part where you talked about the Congolese doctor that
Dr.
made
Mukwege.
so much impact.
Yes, fantastic human being. In DR Congo, in Bukavu, helping women with sexual reproductive health issues. One of the best doctors we've produced in anywhere in the world. Could have easily got a great job in any of the hospitals in Europe, in America, and be getting $200,000 a year or more, but decided that I'll stay in Bukavu, in a place where there was so much a conflict, and help these women, and saved a lot of women's lives.
And he talked about this
great guy.
Yes, this kind of leadership, giving off your all, knowing that you're not really getting anything back.
Yes, it's not about personal gain.
But it's all about impact.
No, it's about impact, yes.
Part 4, finally where we are, is embracing the long-term journey. Embracing the journey, balancing art and science, and of course you have the glossary of key terms and other details. Charles, this is really awesome. And I must commend you on this. And I feel that
thank you.
For us parents, this is something you can get for your children. I'm tasking them to read this because I want them to grow up to be real change makers in our time. Not, now young people, you reach out to them to help and they are always thinking about what they can get from you.
Yes.
It's never about what am I learning from this person.
Or what I can give.
Or what I can give, and that must change. The mindset must change, and I believe it ought to come from here. How can individuals and organizations maintain motivation and resilience when the impact of their long-term efforts is not immediately visible? I think this is but I wanted to read something else apart from this, but food for thoughts. Also, what are some of the specific challenges that long-term initiatives face in African contexts, and how can these be overcome to ensure sustained progress? You have lived quite a bit.
Well, I consider myself quite young, but the guys who are in the youth group say, Charles, accept that you are now an uncle. So
you are uncle.
Yeah, that's what they say.
If you compare leadership then and now, finally, as we wrap up.
I think that, to be honest, we have a chance of having much better leaders in the future. But I have to give a caveat.
Okay.
If those of us who are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s do the right work to set a foundation,
it will help the rest.
Yes, it will help them to become better leaders. If we don't, I'm a positive person, but if we don't, I think we'll have much more complex challenges in the future. But the younger group have a chance of doing things differently.
If we get it right.
If we get it right. Because a lot of the things that they will learn is from us. So we need to model what we think should be done. Then they will get inspired by that and lead in their own way. I am not one of the people that believe that we should change the Gen Z orientation. They are who they are because of when they were born. They are who they are is because of what they consumed. They are who they are because of what they saw from their parents, right? It's us who have to take the responsibility and say, are we actually feeding them the right information? And then we challenge them to use the tools of this time to become better. So I don't believe in complaining about I know a lot of my contemporaries are like throwing their hands up in the air. So these people are so difficult. I don't understand them. They're always talking about mental health and they seem fragile. And I'm like, but it's for us to help them become better leaders, right? So I think they have something special. too.
Yeah.
From where they're coming from. They are very, very special. They get things very quickly. And I think that's the opportunity. So we should use their strengths to help them overcome their weaknesses.
How much is this book going for, Charles?
200 CDs.
Okay, that's 200 Ghana cedis.
Yes, 200 Ghana cedis.
It's too good to be true.
But for those who are abroad or in other African countries, you can get on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes. So there's the Kindle version, which is like an ebook, and then there's a paperback.
You can order and get the hard copy.
Yeah, you can order and get the hard copy.
And it's just the title of the book and your name and your
yes, and you get it.
So here in Ghana, 200 Ghana cedis, how do we find
Okay, for now, if they want to get in touch, if they want to get a book, they can get in touch with me.
Okay.
I can give out a number.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 0264 128 605.
Okay, I think the number is on your screen now. Just one more time, repeat it. Just so.
Yes, 0264 128 605. And you get in touch with me, and I'll get you a copy. But then you do a little thing for me.
Okay.
You just have to pay for your delivery. But I'll give you a beautiful, what do you call it? Author's message.
Let me read mine.
In the book.
Let me read mine. Permit me to read mine. I have a personalized one. You don't mind, do you?
No. Go ahead.
It says, to Vicky Amwa, thank you for your passion for great stories and inspiring leadership. I hope this book encourages you to stay focused, confident, and consistent in whatever leadership journey you are on. May it inspire you to lead with purpose, kindness, and strength, knowing that small, steady actions create powerful ripple effects. Sweet, isn't it? So you get a personalized one, and once you call the number up there on your screen. Charles, this has been great.
Thank you.
I have missed the page. There was a certain quote by you I wanted to... Yes, you said leadership shines brightest when consistency meets accountability.
Yes.
Finally, talk to that leader out there, or talk to that person who is climbing up, trying to be the best they can be, or even lead themselves.
Yes, so my message is look within yourself, lead through your own strengths, do not devalue yourself, do not devalue any opportunity that you are given, no matter what that opportunity is. Always do your best, and God will do the rest.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you once again, Charles.
Thank you.
And we are looking forward to having you at our Adults Book Club session.
No, it will be my pleasure. Thank you.
This is how we wrap up today. Make sure you're leading yourself right. Make sure you're consistent with whatever it is you're doing. Make sure you're following us, the Writers Block Talk Show, on all social media handles. You can reach out to us, join our kiddie book club, register your children for that. Or you yourself as an adult, you can join our Adult Book Club. And then we have several book-related activities every single year. And so just reach out to us, 0552 535 036. If you're calling from out of Ghana, make sure you add +233. Thank you to Gabby, Bless, William, the entire team here for doing this with us. And of course, to Lady Franca and this amazing space, Cappuccino. We are back next week once again with yet a great book for you. The Writer's Blog, we say read, write, indulge your mind.
Thank you for listening to and watching the Writer's Blog Talk Show on this channel. The book review show is designed with you and your child in mind. For enquiries about how you can sponsor, partner, advertise, or have your book reviewed on the show, call or send an SMS, Telegram, or WhatsApp message to +233 552 535 036 or +233 208 428 322, or send an email to writersbloggh@gmail.com. Follow us on social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, podcast at Writers Blog GH or The Writers Blog Talk Show. Visit our website www.thewritersbloggh.com. Join us next time for another exciting edition. The Writers Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.